Welcome to Relationships at Work, the leadership mindset guide to creating a workplace we love. I'm your host, Russel Lolacher, a communications and leadership nerd with decades of experience in both of those areas and a heap of curiosity on how we can make the workplace a better place. If you're a leader trying to understand and improve your impact on work culture and the employee experience, well, you're in the right place. Every week on this show, I talk with local or global leaders on topics that are here to help us improve that workplace, tackling topics that matter to us, like culture renovation, communications, imposter syndrome, diversity, empathy, activism, burnout. Tons of topics. And as we wrap up our second year, I'm looking ahead. We have a lot more to get to, and even topics we've already explored, looking at them in new and different ways. And now, as an added bonus, pulled from the pages of our weekly Raw Note newsletter, I'm providing some mini episodes every Thursday. It's just a quick and valuable bit of information on top of our regular show. So the Raw Note I'm passing on to you this week is, 'Tis the season for mindset reflections and intentions. As we wrap up the year, spending some time with friends and family, putting the finishing touches on 2023 and looking ahead to 2024, it's such a good time to reflect on the year that was and determine how we want to show up as impactful leaders in the year ahead. How we want to show up for our organization, how we want to show up for our teams, for ourselves. And to help with this, I thought I'd share some questions to help us understand where we've been and where we want to go. The reflections and intentions of it all. Curiosity is so baked into great leadership. So why shouldn't we take this time of year to be any different, to lean into that curiosity? Especially when curiosity about ourselves as leaders is so key to assessing and addressing any issues, any concerns, or any growth we might want to dig into. To be fair, I hate resolutions. I hate them. You'll notice I did not say anything about resolutions. I think they're a complete waste of time. Has anyone done anything with them in the history of New Year's resolutions besides packing gyms in the first 2 months of the year? But then we go back to the world we know and that we're used to, not the world we want. So I'm not going to tell you what you should do. I'm going to just ask you questions to pique your interest on how we should all understand ourselves to be a bit better and more intentional in our year ahead. So I got questions. So when reflecting on this past year, here's a few things to think about and raise some of our own self-awareness. I don't have answers to these questions for you, but I want you to propose them to yourself. I do this every year because I just find it's really nice to sort of better understand. Even if I don't have answers right away, there's things that I want to build on and dig into a little bit more. So let's start with these reflections. First question: what were my biggest leadership challenges this past year, and what did they teach me? We all can't hit it out of the park every minute of every day. We do have failures. So let's identify areas for improvement and growth that we may need to focus on. Next question: how have my actions and my decisions impacted my team and organization? Consider the outcomes of our leadership decisions. This introspection can actually reveal how effectively we're supporting our team's growth and the organization's goals, and what changes we might need to make to create a more positive impact. Reflection question number 3. In what areas can I improve my communication and relationships with my team? Effective leadership really relies on good communication and strong relationships. So let's assess how well we are communicating and connecting with our teams, understanding their needs and addressing their concerns. Reflection question number 4. What were my goals for personal and professional development this past year? And did I achieve them? And if not, why not? Look at how successful we were at growing and developing ourselves. Whether we were reading books, taking courses, listening to podcasts like this one, mentoring others, what allowed us to be successful or not, and the reasons for both? Are these goals that are still meaningful and should be carried forward, or should they be replaced? Are these books, courses, mentoring opportunities, podcasts, are they fueling those goals? Well, besides this podcast, because obviously it's doing all the things you need it to. And if not, please let me know. And our last reflection question, how can I better foster a culture of innovation and inclusivity and collaboration in my team? I often say you can only control what you can control. We can't influence the entire organization, but we can certainly model the behavior that we want and need. So think about the work environment and culture we're impacting and cultivating. Our team. Reflect on strategies to encourage creativity, that ensure inclusivity and belonging, and that promote teamwork. And again, are we modeling the leadership we want and our team needs? Now, these are just questions to get you started. The point is, it's a starting point that will probably, hopefully, inspire more questions. They should help us get to know ourselves and then fuel our intentions. Got you thinking? Good. That's the whole point here. So once we reflected, the curiosity, it has to continue. It has to be leveraged for us to be better leaders. And we can always be better. If you don't think you can be better, I have to tell you, you've got a lot of work to do, because right away, you're already thinking that there's no opportunity, there's no growth possible. And everybody, I don't care where you are in your leadership journey, we always can learn more. So now let's get more curious about what kind of impact we want to have in 2024. Let's get intentional. So in planning our intentions this year, I'm going to offer you some more questions, just some things to think about and fueling our purpose in the days, weeks, and months to come. So intention question number 1, how will I better embrace and support my core values in my leadership? Now let's take that opportunity to identify all your key values. If you haven't identified them yet, well, that's a great place to start right there. Understand the values you have that are most important to you as a leader, and then understand how to use them as a compass that'll help you guide your decision and behaviors through the year. How do you model those behaviors properly? They're not just something you put on a wall, they're something you have to live. Intention question number 2. What impact do I want to have on my team and the organization? Take a moment, visualize. Visualize the kind of influence we want to have, we wish we had. Consider how we want to be remembered by our team and what legacy we want to leave in our current role. This can be related to team performance, morale, personal development of team members, or the overall culture of the team. Think about it. Okay, intention question number 3. How do I want to grow and learn as a leader this year? Look back at those reflections and think about areas where you want to improve. Maybe it's that communication. Maybe it's strategic thinking, emotional intelligence, or adaptability, resilience even. Now, how will we make time for this development? How do we know we're successful when we are taking those courses, reading those books? And what is the most effective way we like to learn? And how can we lean into that? Intention question number 4. What challenges am I willing to embrace to further my leadership journey? Embracing challenges is a crucial part of growth. You have to get out of your comfort zone. So think about the types of situation or tasks outside of that comfort zone that could contribute to your development as a leader. What are the opportunities? How can you take advantage of those opportunities? Another intention, what relationships do I need to foster and maintain over the coming year? Identify some of those relationships that might need to be intentional in the effort that you need to take. What does that effort look like? How can you help them on their leadership journeys? Hey, it's the name of the podcast, Relationships at Work. If you don't have relationships, if you're not intentional with them, being a leader is going to be very, very difficult for you. Okay, second to last intention question. How can my goals better align with those of the organization? Do you know what the goals of the organization are? If you don't, can you find out? Now, what are your goals, your personal, your professional goals? Does what you do align with them and help them further along? And if they don't, what are you going to do about it? Can you adjust them? Your goals, not the organization's. And last but not least in your intentions, what are my plans for self-care and defending boundaries this year? Please understand what you need to keep you grounded and strong in your journey. Define what you need, determine if they are even relevant or need to be updated. Boundaries change, self-care changes, what it looks like, what it feels like, how impactful it is. And are you communicating those self-needs and boundaries with those that need to know. How's that for questions? Reflection, intention. I hope you took some good notes. If not, maybe go back and listen to the episode to write those down and think a little bit more about them. You have to start with reflections first before you get into intentions, because you need to understand where you are before you understand where you need to be. And asking ourselves these questions certainly leads to important conversations we need to have with ourselves, as well as our colleagues, our team. These questions are always so helpful for me, and I hope they are helpful for you. So happy New Year to you, and thank you for prioritizing your leadership mindset and your relationships at work by being such a good and great supporter of this show. That will do it. That'll wrap up a raw note holiday episode of Relationships at Work, the Leadership Mindset Guide to Creating a Workplace We Love. I'm Russell. Again, thank you so much for being a part of the show, for listening in, and prioritizing your growth. You have yourself a great day, and I look forward to talking to you in 2024. Take care.